What's up, everybody? Welcome. I got to remember what channel I'm on. Welcome to Detroit Lions Weekly for Thursday. Oh, excuse me, man. Thursday. Oh, shoot. The 22nd of January, 2026. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. Man, we over 3,000 videos deep. That is crazy. Give me a thumb. Let me check my audio. All right, so audio is good to go. Want to thank everybody for tuning in today. Dolo Dynamite in the building. We got Miles Gibbs 24. Did you change your name, bro? Did you change your name? Shout out to Slayer. What up? What up? Braylon in the building. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? All right. Well, I gotta do my confessions today, man. I gotta do my confessions. And I'm not gonna lie, man. I've been having a difficult time. Shout out to all my members as well. I did update the member list. And if you guys are a director tier member and you have not received your milestone gift, let me know. I'll get that out to you as soon as I get a chance. I got to go and get some more helmets as well. So, man, shout out to Braylon. What up, Jacob? Fave says it's time. Yep. Best of luck to Skip. Oh, okay. All right, bro. I don't know. Maybe. What up, Anna D? Steve. What's up, bro? Steve? What up, bro? What's up? What's up? Any word on Decker retirement? Not yet, but I do expect that to come. All right. So let me just say thank you to all the members. Thank you to all the subscribers, all the viewers, and all that stuff. Man, my mustache wants to tickle me now. Let me start off this week by having a little confession. And my confession is that every year this is getting harder for me to do. Now, you guys know that I've been doing this for full time, right? We have just hit a little over a year. So I worked to get here. And when I say full time, it's like most of my income. I still do other things on the side and stuff like that. And I never would do anything for money ever. Like, as far as when it comes to this, I'm not going to sell my soul. I'm not going to sell Omaha steaks. I'm not going to do those type of things, right? We really don't have sponsors. We haven't looked into them really. I was pushing the Ridge wallet, and that was only because it was Detroit Lions related. Anything I pushed was Detroit Lions related. Usually if you have a sponsor, you will get money from the sponsor for a certain amount of time that you have an ad read. So you read the ad. And so when you see an Omaha Steaks ad, then you know that that's what's happening. So the sponsor pays a certain amount of money for a certain amount of ad read. And when you usually earn a contract. I'm really not trying to pick on this guy, but it's just something I do like to make fun of the whole situation. So we don't have sponsors. You guys are the sponsors of the show. And when I started this, it was always out of passion. It was always out of, I remember it's 2018 and I'm sitting on the couch with my son and I'm just watching the game. Shout out to Will. I'll get to the super chats. Let me read them. Says, yo, Derek, sad about Dan Skipper. I have a good feeling about Drew Petzing. Petzing, honestly, better than Johnny Morton. Let's get an O-line and free agency draft defense. Hey, family. So the Omaha Steaks thing, it goes back a real long way. So there's a whole history. Listen, I am going to start a members only live stream, and that's probably going to be on Friday nights. We'll probably start that after the Super Bowl. So that way, when there's no more football, like in any regard, we also don't have the Michigan Panthers. All right. So let me get through this. So you might notice there's not been a lot of content over here. And it's because I just don't feel like it. I don't feel like it. I told myself at the beginning of last season, so at the beginning of 2025, I need to take a break. Like when the season is over, I need to take a break. And when I say break, I'm talking about like break, like 2-3 weeks off where I just detach from everything football. I'm talking about deactivate my Twitter. Don't do any live streaming, anything like that. This year, for me, has been especially hard. It's been hard because I see the team slipping away. And I also have to continue to fight with fans about who knows more, right? Who knows? Do I know more than you? Do you know more than me? Do we trust Brad Holmes? Do we trust Dan Campbell? Do we trust? And it gets old. What up? It gets old. Are we still going to have Lions After Dark live streams? Bro, we ain't had an After Dark in a minute. Oh, I just got that. I just saw that. Omaha steaks beef. I just caught that. All right. So it's like this year I've been hit particularly hard by the Lions. Where every year I have to say, okay, do I want to keep doing this? Do I want to? Now, yes. Do I make money from it? Yeah, I do. Did I work to get here? Yeah. If I don't make videos, I don't get paid. That's the way it is. And that's okay. That's okay. It's always been okay. But I'm like, when I see the reaction to certain things, the blind faith that fans put in this team, and like I'm talking about NFC Championship game, you know, the fact that it just now became cool to criticize Brad Holmes. Right now, the way that I try to look at this, and then we'll get into some football, man, but this has been on my mind and I wanted to tell you guys about it. Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, when you any like public figure, you're going to get criticized. So it's not like the criticism in the comments. It's not that stuff, man. I can take all of that. I'm just tired. I'm tired, man. I'm tired. And this year in particular, it's weighing on me because I feel like we didn't just get here. You know what I'm saying? Like the average fan is taking it year by year. The average fan does not care what's happening with the Detroit Lions right now. Think about that. You guys are not average fans. You are diehard fans. For the diehard fan, we are tapped in every day. Every day. For the average fan, they don't care. They only care 17 weeks out the year. They don't care about training camp. They don't care about preseason. They don't care. All they care about is going to the Lions games. That's it. Or watching the Lions on TV. They don't care about how they get there, if they're going to win. They just don't care. So for us, when you're tapped in 24/7, 365, it is like, and then you are greeted with a non-playoff appearance in a year that you, like, think about it, y'all. We could have predicted this, right? When the media was saying, you guys are not going to make the playoffs. We were like, how dare you say that? Blah, blah. We lost Ben Johnson. It don't matter. We lost Aaron Glenn. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? We losing the playoffs. Like, we not going to get there. You must be crazy. And lo and behold, they were right. Not only did we miss the playoffs, we were in last in the division. And here's where I'm at. Between Twitter, between YouTube, between the fluff content creators, I almost want to pull like I just stepped back. You know what I'm saying? Like I just stepped back. And I talked to my wife about this and some others off the air. And I feel like I need y'all as much as y'all need me. You know what I'm saying? And when I say need y'all, like you need me, is in the space that we have. We don't have a lot of people that are willing to push back at the regime, at the organization, at the fan base. See, it is cool to agree. It's cool to fall in line and say everything is okay, right? But what's not cool is what I do. I'm not buying into this. And I feel myself becoming that creator, that person that I was before the Lions started winning. I'm 46, y'all. I'm not old, right? but I'm not young anymore. I got the status. My son is 16 years old. 16. I picked that fool up today. Beard is connecting. Like, he got the chin hair. He wants to grow a beard, and it's coming in. I'm like, dog, I remember sitting on the couch with you, and we watching the Lions. I remember when you was born. You know what I'm saying? We have to watch Matthew Stafford go to another NFC Championship game. And yet we're sitting here and we're fighting and we're making excuses for a regime and a team that does not deserve them. So when I say, like, I'm going back to that guy, I am going back to, you know what? I don't care about anything but a Super Bowl. I kid you not. I don't care. I don't care about the journey. I don't care about who we sign. Like, you know what? You know ball. We should be winning Super Bowls. When I think about people dying, right? Y'all call me. You call the hotline. You text the hotline. You send me emails. I had 2 people send me emails and say, Derek, you want to buy my season tickets? Because my agent wants me to see if I can transfer them first, because they don't want turnover. One said, I've been with this team since Matt Patricia. He got his season tickets when Matt Patricia was hired. So you're firing a winning coach, and you're hiring, like, you just fired him, right? 9-8, 9-7 wasn't good enough, and we can't beat the good teams. And he invested in the team when they fired Jim Caldwell. That was a big move. I had another gentleman reach out to me and say, Derek, I'm not renewing my season tickets. I'm sitting in 123. Would you like to buy them? I'm not rolling like that. I appreciate the offer, but I'll pass. And it's just getting tough to see that it's just like it's just becoming tough, because we're going through the same thing. So we all, now to bring it back to the Detroit Lions, I'm sitting here, right? And I'm watching people. You're not allowed to have an opinion that is negative, right? Quote unquote negative. People crashed out at the hiring of Drew Petzing. You had every right to. What Lions fans do is they try to rationalize things. They try to say, well, but what about this and what about that, right? I'm done with all of that. I want one thing, Super Bowl. If this team doesn't win one, you failed. That's it. If you want to say 31 teams fail every year, perfectly fine, as long as my team is not the one that fails. There is no in-between for me anymore. It's not. My content is going to reflect that more than you've ever seen. So if this is not your cup of tea, I implore you to find somebody else to watch. You got Sneaky Good Moves. You got Always Positive. You got Omaha Steaks. You got people trying to wait and see, right? I'm hearing wait and see. That's what I'm hearing. And I don't like it. I don't like wait and see. What are we waiting for? We're waiting. Are you waiting to die? And yes, I'm going to go there. There are people dying, waiting on this team. And for you to say, be patient, wait and see, to me, that's a slap in the face. So this space is more corporate than fan driven. YouTube is not, the fan is still out there. I exist, right? I'm not. That is the whole point of Lions Syndicate. It is to be about the fan, right? I will never. They got the Jacksonville reporter. She said something positive about the team, commending Cohen and the fantastic year that the Jacksonville Jaguars had. And she got dragged through the mud because the media is not supposed to be biased. And I'm like, so she can't commend the team? So anyway, she's making her rounds. Everybody loves her. Turns out she's from Detroit, so shout out to her. She sounds like somebody grandmama. She sounds like auntie. So my content is going to reflect my mood. And my mood, I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired of this space. I'm tired of the Lions. I'm tired of making excuses for a team that doesn't deserve it. Brad Holmes has earned an extension. That's all he's earned. He has not earned the greatest general manager we've ever had. That title will belong to the guy that brings us a Super Bowl. Period. Right? There was a general manager we had that drafted Barry Sanders, that took us to the NFC Championship game. So how come he never gets it? It's not SOL. It's not doom and gloom. It is reality. And the reality is there needs to be, so to bring it back to how I'm feeling, right? I've thought about, okay, I've got a CDL. I can go do a lot of things. And it ain't like I don't want to work. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that. This is work too. So I don't mind working. But I also feel like, if I did peace out, I'll be leaving y'all behind. I will be leaving you with what you have, which is quite questionable if you ask me. The content nowadays, it's driven by agenda, and that agenda is not left or right wing. It's not. There is an agenda behind the content being created. Shout out to Paul Foster with the super chat. Says Drew Petzing has to be an above average play caller to succeed with this offense. Agree or disagree? Well, above average for me. I think, and okay, let me bring it back to that's a great point. So I was making my rounds to this. Arizona Cardinals fans hated this guy. They know him better than we do, right? They hated this guy. When we hired them, they began to clown us. We don't have no issue with Arizona Cardinal fans. They're laughing at us. To hear Dan Campbell say, or the report that he really liked Mike McDaniel, but he didn't fit. Okay, he didn't fit, right? Who does? Who does? So we're hearing the same things that we've been hearing. And the NFL season is too short. The offseason is too long for nonsense. And that's so between all of what's happening, fans trying to rationalize this hire. Like, if nobody's asking about you, that probably tells you everything you need to know. Ben Johnson was the hottest coaching candidate for 3 seasons, and he didn't disappoint. I hate to say it, but he didn't disappoint. He lived up to every single, the good and the bad. He lived up to every single standard that they had. Took the bottom team in the NFC North and made them the 2nd seed in the NFL, winning the division all in year 1. And Lions fans, you know what we like to hang? You know what our Super Bowl was? The Bears. The Bears getting knocked out of the playoffs. That was our Super Bowl. We need a super chat from 16 Hodges says we need above average play calling. Dan was average. Well, Ben Johnson was upper tier. And there's only a few of them guys out there. But what really kind of pushed me to a new kind of point was Dan Campbell says we got to evolve. I need to talk to Brad. We need to figure some things out. Brad Holmes gets up there stuttering, stumbling, fumbling, bumbling, sweating. He can't breathe. He out of breath because he's nervous. We have to evolve. And then we go get Drew Petzing. I keep wanting to add an L to his name. We go get Drew, right? Drew might be that guy. But the fact that we're saying might is the problem. We don't have time for mights anymore. The reality is that this team, this regime has 2 seasons. No one can dispute me on that, but yet you want to. Well, they're going to get an extension. Are they? I didn't hear Sheila come out and say that. Now, they could, but have they earned it? Do you think if Sheila was going to extend them, she would have already done it? Now, she has time. We haven't even officially hit the offseason yet. But according to her letter to season ticket holders, she ain't ready. And I'm just like, wow, we're supposed to be playing football right now. We're supposed to be playing football. So let me go back to the beginning of why I finally hit the point of like, I feel like I'm hitting a wall. You know what I'm saying? I just keep banging my head into this wall, like the definition of insanity. We're going into the 2023 NFL season. And this is what I'm starting to realize. I'm a different type of fan, right? You're a different type of fan. But we're both diehards, but you might be a diehard where you'll always be there and we'll get them next year. And you know what? Don't stop believing and be patient and relax. We'll get them next year. And I'm the fan. I ain't trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear that at all. Because while you're waiting on the season to get here, the spring passes, the summer passes, and we're heading into fall. And then the Lions play. Then you have an 0-2 team that made the playoffs. You have an 0-3 team that made the playoffs. And your team is signing Marcus Davenport. Like, do y'all understand that was the highlight of the 2025 offseason? Well, the highlight was DJ Reed. And look how that worked out. Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell are responsible for two things. They have They earned their extension from NFC Championship, division title, twice, playoff game, playoff win. They've earned that. That's fair. They're also responsible for trying to snuff out SOL. Is it just me, or does anybody else feel like SOL is always behind? It's always peeking. Who's that peeking in my window? Y'all remember Goody Mob? Nobody to now. Who's that peeking in my window? SOL, bro. SOL is standing just like this. And they ring a little bell, right? Detroit Lions fans, come out to play. I haven't gone yet. Y'all thought I was dead. You thought it was over? I'm at the door, bro. It's like one of them horror movie monsters that you go run and you shut this door. And then you got to go back. Oh my God, I left the back door open. No, that's SOL. It's always there. And it's like between the content, the fluff. I mean, listen, fellow content creators, it's okay to criticize this regime. It's okay to stand on business. If you fall on your face, you own up to it, right? It's all right. There's no need to sugarcoat things. There's no need to do that. But it's become, that's the agenda. The agenda is, oh, shoot, let me not stray too far from over here because I don't want to be standing over there by myself. I don't want to be over there with Derek. Derek over there, it's cold over there. I don't want to be over there with him. That's where we are. And I'm tired. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of, why did we see that 2023? Like, yo, Brad, we right there. We right there. Why did we see that? You know what some of y'all were saying? And it was so funny to me. We're in year 3 of a rebuild. I'm like, how long are we going to keep rebuilding? How long are we going to keep rebuilding? We're in year 3 of a rebuild? That's a whole coaching lifespan. The average coach gets 3 years. But yet we're in year 3. Oh, we're Detroit Lions fans. It takes us 7 years to rebuild. And then we blink our eye, and this regime is in year 6. Like, what are we going to do when it gets to 10? Oh, we're in year 10, man. You know what? We almost had it. We almost had it. And this year really hit me. It really did, man. Leaving Levi Stadium, flying home with COVID. When my team blew an opportunity, I'm sitting in Levi, and I'm like, yo, I can't believe this. Are we going to do this? And in the back of my mind, I'm like, we're about to blow this. You know why? Because that was SOL. SOL was like, come out to play. I'm right here. I'm right here. SOL was in Levi Stadium floating around. It was there, bro. And we blow it. Our one opportunity. We got Dan Campbell in the podium crying. We blew our shot. Then 2025 or 2024, first seed, man. Everybody hurt. We won Detroit. We wanted 15-2, winning 10 in a row. And we get embarrassed, bro, by a rookie quarterback. And I have been talking about the same thing. I feel like a kid on Christmas that really wanted this gift. And my parents could finally afford it, but then something happened. It's an emergency. Now we need somewhere to stay. Well, Derek, you can't get that now. You can't get that present anymore because we needed somewhere to live, right? That's how I feel with the edge rusher. I was a kid. I was sitting there by the tree. I was waiting. I thought it was the year. My parents was asking me during the offseason, hey, what's that thing you really want? What's the name of it again? Is it a PlayStation? Was it a Genesis? What's the thing you really wanted? Well, Dad, this is what I really wanted. Okay? You know, and then, I'm sorry, Derek. I'm sorry. You know, things happen or something unforeseen happened. And now all the money has to go there. That's how I feel with this edge rusher. Because we need an offensive line. Dan Skipper was not all of that. But now we need a Dan Skipper or somebody better. Taylor Decker probably going to retire. Now what do? Are we doing left tackle? Are we doing right tackle? Oh, what do you know? Tyler Linderbaum, he might wind up following his previous head coach to his new team. There goes that. But it doesn't matter anyway because Brad is not going to do that because we've been doing the same thing and it's been working, but we have to evolve. But that's not really what we're going to do. So now we're going to be looking for a center. And forget about the pass. And we haven't even touched the defense yet. And then I have to hear Lions fans. Shout out to Kyle Bear with the super chat 199 says, please check out the Lions link I attached below. Then we have to hear Lions fans, right? Be excited about a last place schedule. I'm just tired, man. I'm tired. What is this fan? We just so sad to me. It's like it's literally like Stockholm syndrome. We are so sad to me. Oh man, well we got a 4-place schedule next. Oh man, shake and bake Ricky Bobby. We about to kill him. Lions beat how many teams with a winning record when they played them this season? 2, 3. This year hit me particularly hard because we're not playing football. We're not playing football. We should be playing football right now. And then Sam Darnold, Sam Darnold, the pumpkin, is still having a second year in a row with a Cinderella story. And then we got St. Brown talking about y'all don't know ball. Crazy, bro. So appreciate y'all listening to me for 30 minutes. I have been holding on to this. That's why I haven't been making content. I have not been inspired to make any. Yes, videos make me money, but that is not why I do this. Because I just can't. I cannot sit up here and give you a product that I do for money because it won't be me. It won't be right. All right. So, now watch the Chargers go to the next level coming year. For real, they need to prove themselves all over again. What up, DB? Justin Herbert is not the guy. Hey, Justin Herbert is fine to me. He fine. He needed an offensive line. His offensive line was just Swiss cheese, bro. I mean, the dude was getting contorted, and it's ridiculous. Justin Herbert is a stud, in my opinion. He really is. He needs some help, and he gonna get it. Yo, Derek, you are the best. Don't worry, it's Brad and Dan. No, look, Will, it's not even about that, bro. I'm tired about being gaslighted by some of these people saying you don't trust Brad and Dan. You know what? Let's get into it. So, and what I was saying about my creators is, if you don't okay, so if somebody gives you a turd, right? If they offer you a turd on a plate, whether it's wet, whether it's dry, whether it's crumbled, you gonna be like it's still a turd, right? But if they give you the turd, are you gonna try to find the positive? You gonna try to, well, you know what? At least it ain't stinking because it's dry. At least the turd is dry. It could be worse. It could be, at least there ain't no corn in it. It ain't no corn in the turd, right? It ain't that. Manure, that all they do is eat grass and it stank, right? When your kid was born, all they did was eat the goo-goo, the Gerber, the bottle, and you like, how did they produce that out of what I gave them? It still stank, right? It is what it is. It don't change. Trying to find the positive in everything that the Lions do, to me, is just too far. You going, Drew Petzing is who? Who is he? Oh, well, here's the positive. He likes to run. We should have been running. We got David Montgomery. Why are we not running? Oh, okay. He likes to run 13 personnel. Okay. He didn't have what we have. The weapons. He's going to be. Oh, well, there you go. There you go. All our problems are solved. Do you understand that the Lions are only as good as they are because of the offense? Do you understand that? Because our defense has been booty butt cheeks for 4 seasons? Do you understand that? We have never been higher than 15. Ever. And we want to play games. This team, in any capacity, they're not in a position to play games. They're not in a position to take risks. They cannot do it because they have no time. You ever seen Man on Fire? Denzel Washington, Dakota Fanning. And my man is saying, he's wishing all these things. What does Denzel say? I wish you had more time. That's what we're going to be saying to Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes. Dan Campbell, love him to death. Okay? The hire of Drew Petzing is on him. It's on him. You know how I love to blame Brad. You point anything at me, and it's his fault. But I'm going to put this hire on Dan Campbell. And all the other coaching hires that we do, it's on Dan Campbell. Brad Holmes, you put this team together. Dan Campbell, you put the staff together. This offensive coordinator hire is on Brad. I'm sorry, on Dan. See what I did? I tried to find a way. It's on Dan Campbell. I don't think Lions fans realize what we have to do this year. We don't know what's going on with Kirby. We don't know when Brian Branch is going to be back. And when they do come back, how are they going to be? Terrion Arnold, year 3. I saw a post yesterday about Ennis Rakestraw is in a prime position to, okay, no need to spam, big dog. No need to spam. Put it once, put it twice. Super chat makes it easier. No need to spam. I saw a post on Twitter, and that post said, something, Ennis Rakestraw is set to have a breakout year. We're in year 3, dog. We're in year 3. He is halfway done with his rookie contract. A breakout year. You're a 2nd round pick. A breakout year in year 3. Like, that's what we're settling for. He should have never been drafted in the first place. Him, Broderick Martin, Mekhi Wingo, Ahmed Hassanin, none of them. None of them, bro. But you know what? I'll give them a pass because they were late in draft. Ennis Rakestraw, 2nd round pick. 2nd round pick. Brad was like, I want you. I want Terrion, corner. We don't really need a pass rusher. That's okay. Because when we drafted him, we didn't have Al-Qadim Muhammad. We had Marcus Davenport. So I'm going to take Marcus Davenport. Give me him. I want Terrion Arnold. With the 2nd round pick, give me him. A hurt cornerback coming out of college, I take him. Ennis, we good. We good, man. Defensive line, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that I signed DJ Reader, who was coming off a season-ending injury. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter I signed Marcus Davenport, who was coming off a season-ending injury. It doesn't matter. I got my cornerback 1, my cornerback 2. Oh, wait, by the way, he was already hurt. He played 8 games in his 2-year career, and he's going to have a breakout year. You think? We need him to. And we in year 3, bruh. What is we talking about? What are we talking about? I have had enough. I have had enough, bro. Did anyone from the medical team get fired yet? Nope. It says, has he even touched the field in 3 seasons? I think he's been injured. So he has played 8 games. Ennis Rakestraw has played 8 games. Tia and Ennis need the weight room. Hey, Derek, Brad's forte is draft, and you really look at it, he's missed a lot. Yes, he has. Yes, he has. If you ask me, he's predominantly missed since the second half of 2023. Okay, because Terrion is trending miss. He's trending miss. He's trending miss, right? Ennis was a miss. The second round pick. Okay, so you got Ratledge and you got Williams. Okay, all right. We'll give him a little bit more time. Broderick Martin, miss. And let's not forget about the trade. Like, okay, I want somebody to tell me what happened, okay? I'm trying to understand this. Man, Big Black Coffee. With the super chat, $50, says, hey, bro, I got a comment about your video yesterday. I agree, fans don't need to know the ins and outs of knowing football and schemes, just wins and losses. But giving that take, how long can fans then say that the OC hire was bad, lacking the knowledge? Okay, let me see. But given that take, how can fans say the OC hire was bad, lacking that knowledge? Because you know what, Big Black? So Brad Holmes got the football knowledge, and you took Broderick Martin. And no, I will not ever get off that. Right? Even people with football knowledge make mistakes. You got football knowledge, not you. Brad Holmes got football knowledge, but he took Marcus Davenport. We are saying, so it doesn't take football knowledge to know who's good and bad, right? So if Drew, okay, and I hear that, well, nobody knew who Ben Johnson was before the Lions elevated him and he became the hottest thing. That's very true. But we're talking about year 2 versus people know who Drew is. And what I hear from people trying to defend him is it's like finding a way you're trying to find your dog ate your key and you're trying to find the key in this turd. You're trying to literally find the key because he ate it, but it's covered in turds. And then you can tell I'm on turds today, right? Turds is the new word of the day. So sometimes it don't take the football knowledge to know if a move is good or bad. And to me, Lions fans with no Super Bowl appearance, we won a championship when my mama was born, okay? Then we got the right to complain about whatever we want to. Whatever, because guess what? We trade for Myles Garrett. It's funny to me, man. We trade for Myles Garrett, people would still be complaining. I saw a post today from NFL Rumors, I don't know if it's true, that the San Francisco 49ers are trying to get Max Crosby. And I hope they do. I hope they do. So for me, it's like we don't have the football knowledge, but we know if a move is bad or good. We know if a move screen bad or screen good. And it ain't our right to know, bro. Like this is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to react. We're supposed to overreact. Brad Holmes said it the best. You guys don't have all the knowledge, right? But look at all the right assumptions that we've made about Matthias over the past couple of years that have been spot on. They've been spot on. All the assumptions that we made, he doesn't give a fart about the pass rush, check. Right? He's arrogant, check. So we don't need. And so saying that not you, but when you talk about football knowledge, it's funny. And half of the people that go to Ford Field don't even know what they're watching. They don't even, what's this? What's a first down? I'm sitting next to people and they asking questions. So I hear you, bro, and I respect that, and I hear what you're trying to say. But for us to not know football, but we know this move is bad, like you kind of, because if it walk like a duck, it talk like a duck. It is a duck. Marcus Davenport was Affleck. Broderick Martin was, what the heck is this? Well, if you say, with the 96th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Broderick Martin. If you say, who? That's a problem, bro. Tesla Super Chat 199 says, Tesla pick looks worse than the new OC. Lions Live 365 says he has to stop trading up every draft. I don't think he's going to stop that. I really question if Brad knows what he's doing. He missed more than he got right. Yeah, but see, one age, when you start looking at it and you start really dissecting it, you're looking at, okay, so you came out and all of this stuff I think about, right? I think about this stuff. Was Brad so successful in draft 1 because he was a scout and he had time? We went over his press conference on Syndicate Sports Detroit. We went over the whole thing, his introductory press conference. And he said that he was locked into that 2021 draft. He was locked in. And he nailed it. He nailed it, bro. You got a Leem. You traded up for you wind up snagging St. Brown. I mean, Panay Sewell. You did your thing, right? And then year 2. And then you start thinking, okay, well, and I want y'all to legitimately think about this, right? I want you to legitimately think about this. If you take away Brad Holmes, if you take away the Rams' first round picks, right? What it's like Brad has been He's been there. If you take away, so Aiden Hutchinson, our pick. And do you know I didn't know if Brad was gonna take him? I didn't know. I am convinced that Brad wanted Devon Witherspoon. He was not going to take Jahmyr Gibbs. He wanted Devon Witherspoon, and he was 4, he was 5, and then he was gone. And that at that moment, Brad traded back. If Devon was there, knowing what I know about Holmes now, he would have taken him. So there would be no Jahmyr Gibbs on this team. That was the Rams pick. Now, what do we do at 18? Does he hold off for Jahmyr? And if Jahmyr is sitting there at 18, he takes him then. Then there's no Jack Campbell. And then whoever we got for the trade back with Jahmyr is not on his team. So then you go to 2022. 2022. He uses the Rams pick to come up to get Jamison Williams. You also took Josh Pascal, right? So Ife Melifonwu, Josh Pascal, Jamison Williams, and the Jahmyr Gibbs, Swaparoo, all of that. You take that away, now what do you have? In 2024, there's not a lot of people that stand out to you. And in 2025, it's the same thing. There's not a ton of people. The first 2 picks of both those drafts, 2024 is like, we going to put you over here. We going to put you. And 2025, we'll wait and see. I will say it's a wee bit too early. It's a wee to really bring the hammer down on both them guys. But that 2024 draft, so if you look from literally Hendon Hooker on, it's not really impressive. It's not really impressive. You traded up for Vaki. You traded up for the only reason Vaki, I don't come at Vaki as hard as I do Broderick, is because I'm like, yo, we needed a pass rusher. We needed a pass rusher, bro. In 2023, we needed a pass rusher. We had Romeo Okwara on this team. And you trade up for Broderick Martin. And Broderick Martin will never be anything in the NFL, ever. And then, well, how many GMs hit on every pick? None. But we don't care about those GMs. We care about ours and what they do. That's what we care about. And when your GM sits in the offseason and is lazy boy with his feet up, eating bonbons, watching Columbo, while teams are making moves around him, and then he comes up and says, we're going to keep doing the same thing we were doing because it was working. We're going to keep the same foundation. We're going to. You paid 9 people $1 billion. Now we in cap purgatory. And you got to figure out a way. You have to figure out a way, bro, to create some money because we don't have none. So who going to want to come over here now? You had that opportunity. You blew it. So here's what I was going to say. Make it make sense. You know you coping, right? When you find when Brad Holmes, this is when I knew, I'm like, yo, fan base is cooked. We cooked. They can literally serve us the garbage can lid food and we gonna eat it. We gonna put a bib on. We gonna put on a suit. We gonna get a little glass of wine. That's good. And we gonna eat our garbage can lid food. This when I knew this fan base was cooked. That this guy could do whatever he wanted to do. We trade You signed Marcus Davenport in the offseason of 2024. Everybody is telling you it's a bad move. Every single person. It's a bad move. You sign him. Big Black with the super chat. $50. Appreciate you, big dog. Says Levi, Pascal, Ennis, Tate Ratledge, all second-round picks, and all had lots of injury history in college, but Brad still took them. I just recently learned how many injuries Ratledge had in college. And see, I didn't even know that. Appreciate the super chat. And yes, spot on. That's what he does. Back to injuries. Now we're in the 2024 offseason. 2024. We sit here for free agency. We got the live stream set up. Everybody making moves, bada boom. Free agency start. We know ain't nothing happening. We know Lions ain't doing nothing. And it took me a while to understand and really understand Brad Holmes. That is why I'm at my pinnacle with him. I have nothing else to give Brad. Brad has everything to give me. Give me my Super Bowl or find a new team. I think Marvin is still active. You can call Marvin. Or take your severance package and go back to the Rams since you mentioned them so much in your press conference. Go back to the Rams. Like, I'm there. 2023, we enter it. Need a pass rusher. Romeo Okwara decides to retire. He decides he wants to be a photographer. Okay, go live your life, young man. Appreciate you. 2024 is here. We just come off the biggest collapse, man, in my lifetime that I remember. We got destroyed by the Washington Redskins in 1991. It was different. We didn't go in there underdogs, dominating the first half. And then, okay, Josh Reynolds. Blame whoever you want to. I got enough blame too. Jahmyr Gibbs, Dan Campbell, Josh Reynolds, Ben Johnson, Brad Holmes. We sitting there. I got people in the atrium. Oh, shoot, the Lions going to the Super Bowl. Even myself, I got caught up. I looked down at my phone. I don't got no money. I looked down on my phone. I'm like, I wonder how much would it cost me to get to Vegas? How much would it cost to get to Vegas? I'm telling myself, man, Derek, could you drive? Where you going to get this money from, bro? You going to charge the trip? How you going to get there? I'm doing it in the stadium. But I'm like, yo, not yet. This game is not over. We're not at home. We going against the first seed. They not going to go out quietly. 2024 offseason. Lions signed Marcus Davenport. Coming off a season-ending injury. 2024 offseason. Lions signed DJ Reader. Coming off a season-ending injury. We had seen this before. Lions signed Emmanuel Mosley. Right? That's what they do. 2024 season. We signed Tim Patrick. By that time, I had lost my mind. Right? Tim worked out. DJ worked out. He ain't really done much, but at least he ain't been hurt. So now, and this is when I knew he was cooked. So you sign Marcus Davenport in free agency. Knowing what he was like, Marcus was coming off of a season-ending injury. And somewhere in your scouting magnificence and your general manager, greatest of all time, you decide that this guy's gonna be good, right? And what does he say? I remember it was one off season. Let me know if y'all remember this in the comments below. When he said, if Marcus could, if he could get past his injury luck, like what the heck? Injury luck? That's the barometer is injury luck. So now you're banking on Aiden Hutchinson and Marcus Davenport. 2024, Hutch is a wrecking ball, killing everybody. He getting sacks upon sacks, would have been the sack champion in 2024. The sack champion was Trey Hendrickson with 17 sacks. Hutch had 7.5 when he went out. And I'm getting mad because I'm reminding myself that I've been saying this for 3 years. Hutchinson has led our team in sacks since he got here. Al Quadim was the closest person. It was him. He was the closest edge rusher guy to have sacks to Hutch. It's usually Aleem McNeil. Then after Aleem McNeil, it's Alex Anzalone. No, that's who it is, right? So 2024, and this is what I was talking about when I knew the fan base was cooked. we trade for Zadarius Smith. Okay, good. We only traded for him because our lead guy was hurt. If Marcus Davenport was still playing, which we knew he probably wasn't, then we wouldn't have traded for Zadarius. Zadarius Smith is under contract. Now this, and this is what I want y'all to help me understand. I want y'all to help me understand this. Zadarius Smith is under contract. He is under contract. So you gave up draft capital for him. He's under contract. And you traded for him because you had to. Then, in your brilliance, you cut him for a guy who is coming off not one, but 2 season-ending injuries. So you cut this guy over here who actually played, who you traded for in desperation, for this guy here who literally was hurt the last 2 years. And then, that's when I'm like, oh, we done. Then, here's when I knew the fan base was cooked. Zadarius Smith retires. Brad Holmes knew it. I knew it. I knew not only is he the greatest general manager that the Detroit Lions have ever had, he also can predict the future. And that's why he didn't re-sign Zadarius Smith. That's the reason. I knew it. And Brad, I trust. And then what did Brad Holmes do this year? Gave you a big, fat turd. That's what he gave you. A big, fat turd. He got up there all smug. We not changing anything. It's been working. We're not going to do any of that stuff. And what happened? Your team is not. Notice where the swag at, bro. Where the villain merch? I don't see it no more. What happened? You know why? Because that's old news. That positional value villain, nobody want to hear that no more, bro. Jahmyr Gibbs is going into year 4. Oh, and don't forget, that brother got to get some money too. Lions are in trouble. Lions are in trouble. They are. They got to find a way. Jahmyr Gibbs, Jack Campbell, Brian Breach. You have to find a way to make all of this work. Jamison Williams. Remember we was talking about who was going to be the odd man out. Now we got Drew Petz. Oh, 13 personnel. So what does that mean? Does that mean that we rocking with Laporta now? So is Laporta, did the priority for Sam Laporta go over Brian Breach? I don't know. Y'all don't want to hear that Brian Breach may have played his last snap in Detroit. It depends on the recovery. It depends on if he comes back and the Lions want to sign him. Do you even want him still? All of this is legit conversation stuff. Lions are in trouble. They are in trouble. Brad cannot, him and Dan Campbell, since they make the decisions together, they cannot fail. Brad cannot fail in the draft. He cannot fail in free agency. He has handcuffed himself. He has shackled himself to this $1 billion. He better hope that Taylor Decker retires. But then if that happens, now what do? You putting Panay over there? You got to get a right tackle. We need a center. You had 2 guys that you knew was probably going to retire in 2 years. And you get cute with Broderick Martin. Or you get cute with Ennis Rakestraw. Or you get Kobe Sorsdahl, who will not be on this team in 2026. Kobe Sorsdahl will not be a Detroit Lion in 2026. Lions got a lot of work to do and not a lot of resources to do it. Then you step up into the 2025 NFL draft. You know what? We had a black head coach get hired, or a black coordinator get hired. We got 2 picks from that. One this year, one next year. Wow, that is super cool. You know what? Give me Isaac Tesla. That's what I want. Forget the defense. Forget it, because I ain't do nothing in free agency. I just went and got, you didn't want to play Carlton Davis either. You want to get DJ Reed. And at the time, we thought it was a lateral move. No, it ain't. One of them guys is still playing, and one of them in Cabo. Right? So now, what happens? Your bold move, now you re-sign Marcus Davenport. I'm like, we're done. We're done. Waiting. And then I'm getting criticized because I don't believe in Marcus Davenport. Why should I? And lo and behold, to no one's surprise, he didn't disappoint. C-Pool with the super chat says Vildor was picked up because Mosley got injured after a handful of plays. Mosley was hurt 10-4. October 4th at the trade deadline. Bradley took Donovan Peoples-Jones. which the only reason you could say that made sense, allegedly, is because we lost Marvin Jones. And it was so good to see him. I actually saw, I clicked on a Woodward Sports video. He was in the thumbnail, and I was like, oh, I got to click on this, because I literally was asking about Marvin Jones, and I'm so glad to see that he's doing well. He looks well. I was really kind of concerned because of how he left. It was just like, I'm gone. So I guess he's coaching his kids and spending some time with his son. His son wants to play football, and he's doing, so it was good to see that. I had to watch the video. So anyway, y'all, I appreciate you listening to me, and I'm going to be here for you as well. I have to get to the point where I can legitimately take a break. Like I told my wife, like we were talking about vacations and stuff like that. And we've been married for 9 years, and we really haven't been on one because it's so much stuff, man. You've got issues with the kid, then her parents are elderly, and we've got to care for them. So we got to kind of be close to them and here for them. And, my mom she's like late 60s. So she's still good. She got her health and stuff like that. So she's not really a giant concern, but we was talking about it. She really didn't want to go on any cruises and things like that. And then she finally decided, like, you know what, I would want to try one. So we've been talking about doing that. And the best time for me to cruise, that from my experience, is in February. The water is a little more calm, especially depending on if you take what kind of trip you take. So we're trying to kind of like do that. And, you're always hoping, like, and I'll just say this, man, and we'll wrap up the show, is I'm sitting here and I'm saying to myself, as a content creator, I'm like, yo, what would it be like if we won the Super Bowl? What content, like this content we used to with the 96 pick, and we used to Mel Kiper. That's what we talking about, bro. Last couple of years, we were playing football, right? So this time last year, we were reeling from the devastating loss to the Washington Commanders. And I myself, like, I'm starting to realize, Derek, you got to chill out, man. I had a physical manifestation of stress that popped up on my body out of nowhere. And I could not figure out why it was here. And then I said, the Lions, like the Lions physically did something to me. And it was at that point that I was like, yo, I need to chill out. And 2 years ago, like, I'm talking about going to California, to Levi Stadium, to see my football team potentially play for their first Super Bowl. Hold on. Speak of the boy, that was the boy. So yeah, let's get into that. Let's get into that. Cause I only on with y'all once a week. But listen, we talk Detroit Lions 4 days a week. We'll be on Syndicate Sports Detroit tomorrow. All you got to do is search it up, and you'll see it. Is the logo says SSD, and we're over there 4 days a week. But before I want to make sure that I bring this in and we have a conversation about this. We are officially in overtime. The shows really have no time, no set time. You usually, and look, I can entertain people. I don't have to, like, as long as y'all talk, I can entertain. All right, so I need to make sure that's not too loud. So I want to have a conversation about this, and then we'll wrap up the show. Plus, Big Black Super Chats are still there, and I would just feel wrong getting off while those are still on. So I wanted to get your opinion, and you guys have seen this, and this is St. Brown's comments on Lions fans reacting to Drew Petzing becoming our new OC.
Bro, I see crazy Lions fans talking crazy, like, oh, why would we do this? Like, bro, do you guys, like, have no trust in Dan? Like, in the Lions? Like, you think they would just hire a random dude? Like, be for real. Like, you think they don't know what they're doing? They don't do their research. They don't interview. Like, most of you guys don't know really much about anything, about any ball.
Wow. Wow.
And you're tweeting about a coach that was hired that you guys don't like because of XYZ. Like, it's just funny to me to see. Don't get me wrong, I love all Lions fans, but they are so quick to make, judgments about who we hired, who we did this. Like, bro, just relax. Calm down. Like, let the whole thing play out. Like, you guys just let it play out. Just relax. That's all I gotta say. Relax, man. Relax. Bro.
All right, so, the Saint has really, there is a half of the fan base that he is completely ticked off. It is a half. It's a nice chunk of the fan base that this completely ticked off. Now, I don't know where you stand, and it's okay. If you're not bothered, that's fine. If you hate it, that's fine. If you don't feel one way or another, that's fine as well. This comment, I am the one that I'm bothered by this. I'm bothered by this because this is the type of thing you say when you are out of touch. You are out of touch, bro. So I'm going to do like I did on Syndicate Sports Detroit. Okay, so DeQuan says he actually right, though. Nate, what up, though? What's up, bro? Appreciate you, my man. Hope you and the wife are doing well and the little kitties as well. A lot of sleepless nights. Hope you got a diaper genie. Came clutch back in the day. Shout out to you and the wife, man. So, DeQuan says he actually right, though. Okay. Even if he is, why do you have to point that out, right? So, these same fans that don't know ball also pack out the stadium, right? They're responsible when the home team gets 70% of the revenue from games. 70%, 30% goes to the away team. You making millions of dollars. Your home state is Cali. You didn't even want to come here. As a matter of fact, the I heard, and from your mouth, the one team out of the 32 teams in the National Football League, all of them, we talking about the Raiders, the Giants, we talking about the Panthers, the Jaguars, the Texans. You didn't want to come specifically to Detroit. Okay, that was a long time ago. People change, things change, attitudes change. But to me, this is not what you say to Detroit Lions fans. Especially not making millions of dollars. Especially not going back to Cali the first chance you get. Especially when the Detroit Lions, because I wonder, do you think St. Brown knows this? Do you think Amon-Ra St. Brown knows? He remembers the 14 receivers taken before him, as he should. I'm that petty as well. Okay? 100%. Do you think St. Brown knows that the Detroit Lions are the only NFC team to never appear in the Super Bowl? Do you think he knows that? And if he does, do you think it sits in the front of his head like it does yours? Right? But let me go back to this, because I think that there was something very telling about this clip. And I break this down in fuller detail on yesterday's Syndicate Sports Detroit live stream. Matter of fact, it's a video over there. But the live stream was fantastic. Y'all should check it out. There is something that I think, now, St. Brown is the younger brother. I don't know if Equanimous is the oldest or the middle, but I know Saint's the youngest. This reaction that he got told me everything.
Bro, I see crazy Lions fans talking crazy.
All right, crazy Lions fans talking crazy. Hate to tell you, Amin Ra, the root word of fan is fanatic. We are sports fanatics. So, and then crazy Lions fans talking crazy. Okay, so I don't know if that's supposed to be a diss or what. I'm going to let him continue.
Like, oh, why do we do this? Like, bro, do you guys, like, have no trust in Dan? Like, in the Lions? Like, you think they would just hire a random dude? Like, be for real. Like, you think...
Okay, you think...
They don't know what they're doing. They don't do their research. They don't interview. Like...
All right, so that's what you said. Random dude, interview random guy. They haven't done their research. Amon-Ra St. Brown, if I recall, when people was flipping on Johnny Morton, he said the same thing. Like, it's very similar. It's eerie how close together they sound. So right now, we crazy, and we talking crazy, and we don't think the Lions gonna hire a random dude when they literally hired a random dude, who, by the way, is somebody's grandfather. Like, we talking about, like, he probably got grandkids in college. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but we went from hot and up and coming to a guy that said like this. Okay, Saint, what else you got? But so y'all telling me EQ is the oldest. EQ's the oldest. Okay. Well, that would explain this reaction, because EQ knew exactly. He knew his brother was in trouble.
Most of you guys don't know really much about anything, about any ball.
Wow.
That right there. This reaction, you know why EQ did that? Because, and I've always hated that. When people try to come at it, you don't know ball. The crazy part is, so what? Who cares? 90% of the people at Ford Field don't know ball. Only 2% of college players make it to the NFL. The people who are watching you don't know ball. But the funny thing is, you got to know ball to know we want a winner? That's funny. Coming off of probably St. Brown's worst year as a receiver, like since he came on. He dropped more passes than he ever has. He's dropping everything. Everything. Uncharacteristically dropping things. But Equanimous, his response, he knew. He like, you done walked into, you done opened up this can. And Lions fans, one thing I love about fans, no matter what fan base you are, you do not forget. And we will not forget this. Like, he has stuck his foot all the way in his mouth. Coming off a year in which you just had a horrible OC. So I'm going to go back a little bit because I want y'all to see this reaction again.
Wow. Wow.
And you're tweeting about a coach that was hired that you guys don't like because of...
You see that? You see that face? You see that face? That's the face of... See, to me, when you attack people about not knowing ball, okay, in my opinion, you are trying to put down their opinion, right? Your opinion can't be valid. Your opinion doesn't matter because you, quote, don't know ball. I don't know if I've ever heard him say that, ever. I don't know if he's ever, like, I'm sure he's addressed us before. I'm going to keep it buck. I got a confession. I don't watch this podcast. Like, it's not in my rotation. Sometimes I stay away from certain things if I'm not in the mood. I haven't watched Rich Eisen since the Lions season. Well, since they were eliminated from playoff contention. I have not watched a single clip of Rich Eisen, and that's one of my mainstays. I actually watched the full 3-hour show for the first time. Well, I didn't watch it. I was listening to it driving to Kansas City. You can actually watch it through ESPN. You go to like Rich Eisen and you can play the whole show. And I was listening to it going to Kansas City in October. And I was like, oh, okay, this is what the show is like. But It just wasn't a bad look. So when you start talking about people knowing ball, that's when you are trying to distinguish, like, okay, well, keep your opinion. It ain't really valid because you don't. And he said much of anything about ball, right? So when I'm like, wins equal playoffs. If you keep winning, you make the Super Bowl. Once you get to the playoffs, if you go undefeated, you win a Super Bowl. Not really that hard. And he's also talking to a team that's never been to one and been around since before his dad and mom, when his grandfather and grandmother were here. I don't think he understands the weight that he's carrying. And that's the part that I try to get to y'all. Why am I like this? This is this heavy. Carrying this, do you know how close the Texans came to embarrassing us? They were this close, bro. They were a quarterback away. If CJ Stroud wasn't having a game, the horrific game of his life, who knows? They could be playing for their first Super Bowl, and they're not even 25 years old. The Lions are in a category with a 33-year-old team, expansion team, a 24-year-old expansion team, and a 27-year-old expansion team. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. When the Cleveland Browns came back in 1999, they reset. Making the Detroit Lions the oldest team in the NFL to never appear in a Super Bowl. We are the lone NFC team and the oldest NFC team in the National Football League. And if you cut expansion teams, period, we would be the only one. Think about that. The Detroit Lions are the only non-expansion team to not go to a Super Bowl.
XYZ. Like,
okay, let me go back. And I'm saying, okay, Saint, we don't know ball. You saying XYZ? Take this. If we don't know ball, Saint, why didn't you tell us what XYZ is? As a matter of fact, I'll do you one better. I'll put this challenge to St. Brown. Start a tutorial. Start a course. Jugs 101. Jugs 102. Whatever it is. 202. Jugs 202. And you, in your California home, after you get finished working out, because we know that's a priority as it should be. I see them shoulders, big dog. You know what I'm saying? I see them. And they inspiring. That's all I'm going to say. You start, get your podcast equipment, and you start breaking stuff down. Teach us, brother. Teach us. Tell us about A gaps and B gaps. Tell us about all of this stuff, bro. All right? Routes and, slants, hooks. Tell us about all that, bro. Since we don't know ball, right? Take the opportunity. Teach us.
Like, it's just funny to me to see. Don't get me wrong. I love all Lions fans, but they are so quick to make, judgments about who we hired, who we did this. Like, bro, just relax. Calm down. Like, let the whole thing play out. Like, you guys just let it play out. Just relax. That's all I gotta say. Relax, man. Relax.
All right, relax, man. Relax. Okay. I don't know about you, but I've been relaxing for a minute, right? I'm 48. Lions still ain't been in no Super Bowl. Super Bowl been around, what is this? Super Bowl 61? Excuse me, I'm sorry, y'all. 60, 61, where we at? So, relaxing. So, that's 6 decades of relaxing, at least, right? Super Bowl is 6 decades old. To talk about relevance, okay, this is the same team that didn't win a playoff game for 30 years. It was the same team that under Stafford went 3 times. It's the same team that has to watch Matthew Stafford potentially win 1 and then another one, right? And win 2, I should say. But we're supposed to relax. Now you guys understand, I cannot stand patience, relax when it comes to Detroit Lions fans. I will relax when we're Super Bowl champions. Then I can shrug my shoulders. I can kick that weight off me. You know why Amon Ra said made these statements and said them so? They don't mean anything to him. It doesn't. He gets paid to play here. Don't get me wrong. I love the guy. but he only wearing Honolulu blue because we pay him. That's it, right? You gonna wear it. You wore it in 0-16, didn't you? When the Lions had blackouts, you was the one listening to it on your radio. You had to dig out the radio, bro. 97.1, 96.3, 105.9, 105.1, whatever channel it was on, that's how you got to hear the games. Mark Champion calling games. Right? That's you. When the Lions were 0-16, that's you. You're in front of your TV and you're hoping for a win. You have Dan Orlowski as your quarterback because I think John Kitna went out. You're hoping. You ain't hoping for a Super Bowl. You just hoping they win a game because you don't want to be the first team in NFL history to lose 16 games in a regular season. And then you were. It doesn't mean the same thing to him that it means to us. And that goes to every player. It really does. I would say 99% of the players. You going to walk around 0-16, Lions gear. Bag over your head, Lions gear. Lions logo on the bag. Right? 0-16, you have bubbles on your back. Proudly wearing that 0-16 team on your person. Don't tell us to relax. Don't tell us to be patient. Because the stories that I hear from y'all that really touch me and really tell me, okay, Derek, you got to keep going, bro. Take a break, reset, relax. In this regard, right? Take some time away from this football team. You tell me the stories about loved ones. I've had conversation with people on air, off air, that have told me, yo, I'm done with this team, bro. My father died, and this team is doing the same thing. My grandfather died. My mom, I got a comment today, said he lost his dad and his mom. There are people that, you know what their parents got to see, their loved ones got to see before they passed? Was 2023. That's what they got to see. I had a gentleman call in to the show on Syndicate Sports Detroit. It was like last week. I think it was last week. It was like Friday. And he said that 2023 was enough for him with his dad. Like, it was okay they didn't win a Super Bowl because to him, he got to see a reaction from his dad that was just as good. And I was like, wow, bro, that really hit. And so as we wrap up the show, I just want to say that hey, Duncan, that's crazy. I remember that, baby. I remember that, man. That I am going to go to through these peaks and valleys and these ups and downs, and the core of me is going to stay the same. Like, but I understand if you are not in the mood for this type of content, but I can only give you how I am. Like, whatever I'm feeling at the time is what you're going to get. If I'm feeling playful, if I'm feeling hopeful, if I'm feeling down, right? But you're going to get real in whatever way I give it to you. And right now, it is hard for me to believe in this team. It's hard for me to trust in this team because they took it and they turned it into Marcus Davenport. They took it and they turned it into Donovan Peoples-Jones. They took it and they turned it into Broderick Martin. They took it and they watched edge rusher after edge rusher after edge rusher come off the board, and they watch edge rusher after edge rusher after edge rusher go to different teams in free agency. And then we have to hear about how much they tried to do this and they tried to do that. And we don't see none of that, bro, because from the looks of it, you didn't try to do anything. And you know what's funny to me is that Lions fans, this is probably one of my favorite things that we say. Y'all say, like, don't you feel dumb if you were the one mentioned dynasty? If you were talking about, because let me ask you this. If you were one of the Lions fans that were talking dynasty, do you believe that this football team is still on a dynasty trajectory? And if you do, I'm going to call cap, because you can't believe that because we don't got enough time. They don't have enough time for dynasty. I guarantee you Sheila Ford ain't thinking dynasty. Because if she was, they would already be extended. I'm putting cases on all y'all. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put cases on all y'all and call cap. If Sheila was thinking dynasty, they would already be extended, but they're not. That should tell you everything you need to know. I don't think they're going to do anything this year to convince her to extend them. I think Sheila's decision is going to come earliest at the end of 2026, the 2026 season, this time next year. And if they go into year 7 and we ain't heard nothing, tells you everything you need to know. So many people have died waiting on the Lions, but we're supposed to relax. WJLB. Yeah, Mason. Lions Live 365 says, I lived in Philly when the Eagles won their first Super Bowl. They literally ran outside and screamed, went to Rite Aid, and dude took a break to shoot his gun in the air. Wonder how Lions fans will react. Well, I'm going to tell you what. That's crazy, bro. I would hope Detroit wouldn't be worse. But when the Pistons won in 2004, we hopped in the car, and, you know, I'm young at the time. You know what I'm saying? Hairline was still crispy. You know what I mean? And Pistons win. Hop in the car. What did I have? Well, I had a Grand Am. I had a 1999 Grand Am. It was red. Had a Glory license plate that I installed myself. Did I put that on myself? No, somebody installed it for me. And I was trying to fast and furious that thing. I had painted like the inside red and the vents. Anyway, so we hop in the car, man, and we downtown Detroit. And it's June. We hanging out the car windows, everything, because the Pistons beat the Lakers in 5. And look, Tigers went to the World Series twice in the last 20 years, right? 2006, 2012. Here's a bit of, like, useless information, but quite interesting. Tigers go to the World Series in 2006, I get married. Tigers go to the World Series in 2012, I get divorced. So the Tigers and me, man, we, and look, they ain't been since. And, I have been remarried, though, so I guess that's a good thing. But, hopefully some stuff would survive, but I think that Detroit is going to survive. So I say this, y'all. Every year is the same thing. And I was watching some content creators today and stuff like that. And my goal is seriously, man, I want a location. I want a location. I have been saying for years, like the whole reason I started was Mike Valenti. He was the whole reason. I'm like, at least whether you and I disagree or agree, we are Lions fans. Mike Valenti is not a Lions fan. Rico is not a Lions fan. Maybe Terry was, but Terry Foster might have been, but I don't know. We're Lions fans, and I feel like y'all remember FUBU? Hey, sorry to all my Caucasian people in the chat, but us black folk, we remember FUBU. You remember LL? FUBU, man. Fatty Girl. Y'all remember Fatty Girl, FUBU? For us, by us, right? That's what I want. I want a network that is for fans, by fans. That's what I want. Like a legit network where maybe somebody is credentialed and they get to talk. It ain't going to be me. I'm not going to be. Because I'll be like, Brad, what the heck were you thinking when you signed Marcus Davenport? Get him out of here. They would throw me right. You know what they would do? They would see me walk into the room, to the credential, like the media room, and then I'm there. Or the dude that'd be like, the dude that started calling people to ask questions. He'd be like, we'll take John, Dave. Let's get Justin. And he'd be like, and then that'd be it. I have to talk to him like, yo, man, what's going on? You gonna ask me? You gonna let me ask a question? So, yeah, I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. And this season, I need to take a break. My goal in 2027 is, depending on how the season ends, because is it just me, y'all, or does this season feel different? This is the first time to me that I feel like we don't have a direction. You know what I mean? Like 2022, We're putting Aaron Rodgers out. We knew we weren't going to make the playoffs. We 8-2 in our last 10. We're doing this. 2023, we come out and everybody like, okay, we made enough noise in 2022 that you had to put some respect on our name, right? So then we're playing. We kill it. Playoff game. Stafford versus Goff. Stafford round 2. Goff win a playoff game. City of Detroit going crazy. We beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Oh my goodness. We headed to, wow, is this real? Is this real, man? I saw a clip from the watch party and I was like, yo, y'all was lit up in there. It was lit, bro. Pom-poms twirling around. Y'all going crazy. I'm in Levi fighting for my life with these the Bang Bang Niner gang, right? But I went there to represent y'all, to bring you that experience because I wanted to be there when the Lions are celebrating. They're getting that award on the 49ers field, and I can bring you that coverage. 2024, we come out and 15-2, all these injuries. We lose our star pass rusher. Nobody expected us to lose to the Commanders. Nobody. We shouldn't have lost to the Commanders. And then 2025 comes and the entire media is saying we're not going to make the playoffs. And they were right. And then you got your smug general manager asking you questions that you already know the answer to. How many teams in the National Football League, right? 32. Yeah. 32. Hold on. Now this, my ex-wife is calling me now because I brought her up. But no, my son is over there. So, okay. So, okay. With that being the case, man, we're going to wrap up the show because he called me and she called. So I need to see what's going on over there. But I appreciate y'all. Shout out to Skip. Didn't really get a chance to talk about him, but I made a video about him. But my whole point is I cannot leave y'all behind. I cannot leave you behind. Not right now. I cannot leave you with this current state. We got some up-and-coming guys, Lions Live 365. We got some up-and-coming guys. Whether we agree or disagree, that's the whole point, right? It's all love at the end of the day. We all want the same thing. Neither one of us has been disrespectful. We just don't agree on everything, which is cool, right? That's how it's supposed to be. And I'm going to get him on the show eventually when I get this setup fixed or figure out a way. But take a beta blocker before you go. Says, why you talking about me on your show? No, so yeah, my son, so he's 16. We got 7 on, 7 off, and stuff like that. So anyway, y'all, I look, we can go on forever, but I cannot leave you behind right now. And I am here to give you a better class of content creator. Because I feel like the city needs it. Whether or not one thing I can respect about Adam Baydoun, whether or not you hated him, you loved him, is he said what he was feeling. And I don't think there's enough of that in this space. I just don't, man. Whether it's the dumbest thing or everybody loves it. And that's the tip that I would give to all my up-and-coming creators. Just stay you. Keep doing what you're doing. Never, ever settle. Never concede. Because, like Dan Campbell said about our team, we going to be the last one standing. After all of the ridicule I got for talking about a team that was winning, talking about the second amount of sacks in the NFL, talking about Brad Holmes' shortcomings. And I do hold Dan Campbell accountable, just not as much. After all of that, when I was saying it when nobody else was saying it. And now, here we are. Here we are. So that's the show, ladies and gentlemen. Phone lines will be open. We're probably going to start a new show. Maybe creating. It's probably going to be called like Lions Therapy or some type of, maybe I'll do like a contest or something where somebody names it. Or something. I'm just throwing stuff out there. We'll do like Lions Therapy. So if somebody steals this, I said it, right? We'll do like a Lions Therapy where the whole show we'll be addressing voicemails from the fans. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put that into play. So we'll be going live twice over here. Once will be Detroit Lions Weekly, and one will be like the Pride Therapy or something like that. We'll come up with a name, and we'll be on, and you guys call into the show, and we have some live dialogue. You can leave voicemails, and we'll do all of that. So I'm just putting that out there. Why do voicemails? Do it in StreamYard? Because I don't use StreamYard, and voicemails. What StreamYard will require you coming on, and then it's a lot of people nervous with that. Trust me, I'll start bringing people on the show, and it'll be a fan sometimes of like the Lions and stuff like that, and you guys can come on and kick it with me for a little while. Like, we're gonna get there. I'm trying to get this audio fixed. I have a system that the caller can hear themselves, and I'm trying to figure that out. And once I do, that's literally the only thing getting in my way. The reason I won't do StreamYard is because I already got a software that's like capable of, like, newsrooms use this software. Like, this is not your mama's software. This software is ridiculous. It is complete overkill. You can do instant replay. You can, it's legit overkill, but that's how I do. So anyway, appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend. Enjoy Championship Sunday. And maybe next week we're talking about Matthew Stafford going to his next Super Bowl. I doubt it, but maybe we are, man. I will see y'all in the next video. And live stream. Go Lions.